dear students, I welcome you all for the video class. Today, I am going to teach you Geography Chapter 6, Major Landforms of the Earth. In this chapter, we will discuss about the topics. At first, we will discuss about the process of landforms, then about the mountains, then plateaus. At last, we will discuss about plains. In the previous chapter, you have read about the lithosphere, isn't it? Okay, children, what is mean by lithosphere? Yes, lithosphere is a solid crust and it is the uppermost layer of the earth, isn't it? If you see the earth from the space, its surface looks like what, children? It looks like a plain. Okay, but in reality, the earth has many ups and downs. These variations on the land surface are known as relief features or landforms of the earth. Are you understand, children, what I am telling? What is mean by landform of the earth? Yes, the variations on the land surface that are known as the relief features or landforms of the earth. There are a variety of landforms on the earth's surface. What are they, children? The landforms which includes plains, plateaus, mountains, hills, valleys and so on. These land features appears to be permanent, but in actual they are continuously undergoing changes. These landforms are the result of two processes. What are they? Yes, one is internal process, another one is external process. These type of processes are the responsible for the changes occurs in the landforms. Clear? Some of these changes occur suddenly while some are gradual. Remarkably, the ground on which we stand is slowly moving. Within the earth, a continuous movement is taking place. Then the volcanic activities and earthquakes are the result of what? Yes, are the result of internal processes. Are you understand, children, what is mean by internal process? Within the earth, a continuous movement is taking place. That is called as internal process. They originated inside the earth and in the result the sudden formation of the major landscapes like mountains, plateaus, plains, valleys, continents, hills and so on. The external process work on the earth's surface. They modify these landscapes. Or you understand or you differentiate the internal process and the external process, children? What is mean by external? Again, external process work on the earth's surface and they modify the landscapes. Clear? Again one time I will repeat what is mean by internal process and what is mean by external process. Internal process means within the earth a continuous movement is taking place. For that example is volcanic activities and earthquakes. As a result, these are the result of internal processes. Clear? Then external. External process is nothing but external force directly or indirectly affected by the sun energy. Then external process work on the earth's surface. They modify the landscapes. Clear, children? The whole process of the modification of landforms by the external forces is known as what? Gradation. What is mean by gradation, children? The whole process of the modification of the landforms by the external force is known as gradation. Again, it consists of two processes. One is degradation, another one is aggradation. Okay children, degradation is nothing but the elevated landforms of the earth are lowered down by the various agents. What are they? Give some example for that. Yes, wind, rivers, glaciers, ocean current. These are some examples for the agents, that is agents. In degradation, the elevated landforms of the earth are lowered down by the some agents. That agents are wind, river, glaciers, ocean current and so on. This process is known as erosion. Clear? While in aggradation, the depression of the earth's surface is filled up. It is known as deposition. Children, do you know the difference between erosion and deposition? In aggradation, the depression of the earth's surface is filled up. That is called as what? Yes, deposition. In the process of erosion, in the degradation, the elevated landforms of the earth are lowered down by the agents. That is called as what? Erosion. The landforms of the earth's surface can be broadly classified into three parts. What are the children? Yes, mountains, plains and plateaus. Okay children, now we will discuss about the mountains. Okay children, what is mean by mountains? Yes, mountains are the natural elevation of the earth's surface. In other words, highly elevated lands which rise above the surrounding regions are known as what? Mountains. Now you cleared about mountains children? Okay children, mountains are formed by the internal forces. Do you know that? Yes, how the mountains are formed? They are formed by the internal forces. Generally, mountains have broad base and conical top. Clear? On the mountains, temperature remain less as compared to the plain areas. Some mountains are higher than the clouds. Some mountains are very cold climate. So, these mountains have a large river of ice that are called as what? As glaciers. Now you know the meaning of glaciers, isn't it? The glaciers are the main source of water for the what? River. Are you clear? The glaciers are the main source of water for the what? River. Clear? Okay children, remember some glaciers names in the Himalayan mountains. Yes, Yamunotri, Gangotri, Bolatro, Siachen. These are some of the important glaciers of the Himalayan mountains. Clear? Okay children, next we will discuss about the mountain range. Okay children, what is mean by mountain range? It is nothing but mountains have great heights with the sharp sloping features, isn't it? Through that which rivers are flows downwards, generally the mountains are found in the continuous chain. This chain is known as what? Mountain range. Clear children? What is mean by mountain range again? The mountains are found in the continuous chain. This chain is known as mountain range. Clear? Okay children, what is mean by mountain range? And give some example. Okay. What is mean by mountain range again? The mountains are found in the continuous chain. This chain is known as mountain range. Clear? The Himalayas in Asia, then the Alps in Europe and the Andes in South Africa. These are the examples for what? Mountain ranges. Clear children? Next we will discuss the types of mountains. On the basis of their shape, size and height, the mountains may be classified into 4 main types. What are the children? Do you remember? Yes. One is fold mountains, then block mountains, then volcanic mountains, at last residual mountains. These are the four main types of mountains. Clear? In our book, we will discuss only three types of mountains: fold mountains, block mountains, and the volcanic mountains. Okay children, at first we will discuss about the fold mountains. These mountains are formed when the earth crust bends due to the earth movements. Clear children, what is meant by fold mountains? These type of mountains are formed when the earth crust bends due to the earth movements. The interior movements cast folds on the earth's surface. It results what? It results into several ups and downs. Are you understand children what I am telling? What is meant by fold mountains? The mountains are formed when the earth crust bends due to the earth movements. The interior movements of the earth causes the folds on the where? Folds on where? Yes, earth's surface. Clear? It results into several ups and downs. Clear? Then the fold mountains is classified into two. One is anticline, another one is syncline. What is mean by anticline children? Yes, the upraised part of the fold is known as what? Anticline. Clear? While the downside fold is called as syncline. Do you know the difference between the anticline and syncline? The upraised part, topmost part is called as anticline. The downfold, that is called as syncline. Clear? Then the fold mountains usually consist of parallel ranges. Most of the mountains of the earth are what? What type of mountains? Yes, fold mountains. Clear? These mountains are characterized by rugged relief and high conical peaks. Clear? Most of the mountains of the earth are what type of mountain? Fold mountains. These mountains are characterized by the rugged relief and high conical peaks. All the fold mountains are of different ages. On the basis of the age, they are known as young fold mountains and old fold mountains. Clear? Do you know the difference between the young fold mountains and old fold mountains? On the all the fold mountains are of different ages. Based on the age, they are known as young fold or old fold mountain. Okay? Clear children? Young fold mountains have high and pointed peaks. Clear? Give some example for some young fold mountains. Himalayas, Alps, Andes, Rockies are the significant young fold mountains of the world. Clear? On the basis of the age, the mountains are classified into young fold or old fold. Clear? Young fold mountains have high and pointed peaks. Okay. Now we will move into the old fold mountains. What is mean by old fold mountains? Old fold mountains is nothing but have the rounded features with low height. Clear? Old fold mountains have rounded features with low height. Clear? Give some example for that. Great Dividing Range in Australia, then Pennines and Europe, then Ural, Russia, and so on. These are the main old fold mountains of the world. Clear? Okay children, now you cleared about the fold mountains, isn't it? Next we'll discuss about the block mountains. Okay children, what does mean by block mountains? These mountains were formed when a landmass pushed up between the parallel faults in the earth crust. Clear? Or by sinking of the land around them. You just see the diagram in your book. Then you will understand very easily. Clear? What is meant by block mountains? These mountains were formed when a landmass was pushed up between the parallel faults in the earth crust or by sinking of the land around them. Clear, children? That is called as formation of the block mountain. The uplift part of the landform is known as what? Is known as horst. H-O-R-S-T-S. Clear? While the lowest landforms are called as termed as graben. Clear, children? In fold mountains, the upraised part of the fold is known as what? Anticline. Yes, very good. While the downward fold is called as syncline. Clear? In this block mountains, the uplifted part of the landform is known as horst, while the lowered landforms are called as graben. Clear, children? Okay, children, give some example for the block mountains. Yes, Rhine Valley in Europe, then Wash Mountains. These are some examples for block mountain system. Clear? Okay, children, where is Rhine Valley located? Rhine Valley is located between the Vosges and Black Forest. Clear? Then Meseta in Spain and northern and southern uplands of Scotland are these some examples for the horst and graben. Clear, children? Once again, I will repeat the block mountains. These mountains are formed when the landforms are pushed up between parallel faults in the earth crust or by sinking of the land around them. Clear? Then the uplifted part is what? The uplifted part of the landforms is known as horst, while the lowered landforms are called as graben. Clear? Then Vosges Mountains and the Rhine Valley in Europe. These are some examples for block mountain systems. Clear, children? Then what are the examples? Give some example for the horst and graben. Yes, Meseta in Spain, then northern and southern uplands of Scotland. These are the examples for horst and graben. Clear, children? Next, we'll discuss volcanic mountains. These mountains are made up of the accumulation of volcanic material ejected from the earth's interior. Clear, children? What is mean by volcanic mountains? These mountains are made up of the accumulation of the volcanic material ejected from the earth's interior. Clear, children? It's simply said, volcanic mountains are formed due to the volcanic activity. Then they have comparatively gentle slope. Okay, children, give some example for volcanic mountains. Yes, Mount Kilimanjaro in Africa, then Mount Fujiyama in Japan, then Etna and Vesuvius in Italy. These are the examples of volcanic mountains. Clear, children? Okay, children, what we discussed so far is we discussed about the mountains, then different types of mountains. What are the different types of mountains? You may know, children. First one is fold mountains, then block mountains, and another one is volcanic mountains. Clear? Next, we will discuss about the plateaus. What is mean by plateaus, children? Plateaus are the highlands with a broad, more or less flat surface. Clear? What is mean by plateau again? Plateaus are the highlands with a broad, more or less flat surface. Clear? Due to the flat topped surface, these landforms are known as tableland. What is that? Tableland. Clear? What does mean by tableland? The flat topped surface, these lands are called as tableland. Clear? Their height varies from a few hundred meters to 1,000 meters. Plateaus generally have steep slopes on both sides. But a few plateaus have steep slopes on one side and gentle slope on other side. Okay, give some example for that. Yes, the Deccan Plateau have both the steep and gentle slopes. Clear? Plateaus occupy 1/3 of the earth's surface. Clear? These are found in every continent. Again on time I will repeat, student. What is mean by tableland? That flattened surface. These landforms, flattened surface. Due to that flattened surface, these landforms are known as tableland. Okay, clear? The plateaus are generally highlands with a broad, either more or less flat surface. Due to that flat surface, it is called as what? Tableland. Clear? Then height maybe varies from a few hundred meters to 1,000 meters. Clear? Then some plateaus are generally have steep slopes on both sides, but few plateaus have steep slopes on one side and gentle slope on other side. Clear? Give some example. Yes, Deccan Plateau have both the steep and gentle slopes. Clear, children? Like mountains, plateaus may be young or old. Clear? The Deccan Plateau in India and the East African plateaus in Kenya and the Western Plateau of Australia. These are some examples of old plateaus. Clear? Then we'll discuss about the types of plateaus. It is not given in your book. Please make a note of it. First type is intermont plateaus. What is the spelling means? INTERMONTANE. Intermontane plateaus. First type. Then second one is pediment plateaus. What is the spelling for pediment? Means PIEDMONT. Pediment mountains. Clear, children? Then third one is continental plateaus. CONTINENTAL. Continental plateaus. These are the three different types of plateaus. What are they, children? Intermontane plateaus, then pediment plateaus, then continental plateaus. Clear, children? Okay, children, we'll discuss about the intermontane plateaus. What is mean by intermontane plateaus? These plateaus are partly or completely surrounded by the mountains. What is mean by intermontane plateaus? These type of plateaus are partly or completely surrounded by the mountains. The highest and the largest plateaus on the earth are the intermontane plateaus. Clear, children? The Tibet Plateau is the world's highest plateau. Then it is also known as what, children? Yes, roof of the world. Do you know that? Yes. It is about 4,000 to 6,000 meters above the mean sea level. First, we discuss about what, children? Intermontane plateaus. What is mean by intermontane plateaus? The plateaus are located either completely or partly surrounded by the mountains. Clear? Then, highest and largest plateaus on the earth are what? Yes, intermontane plateaus. The Tibet Plateau is the world's highest plateau. Then it is also known as what, children? As roof of the world. It is about 4,000 to 6,000 meters above the mean sea level. Are you clear, students? I will move on to next one. Next one is pediment plateaus. These plateaus are formed at the foothill zone of huge mountains. These plateaus lie between mountain ranges on one side and sea or plain on the other side. Children, are you understand what I am telling? The pediment plateaus these plateaus are formed at where? Formed at the foothill zone of huge mountains. These plateaus lie between the mountain ranges on one side and sea or plains on other side. Clear? Give some example for pediment plateaus, children. Yes, Colorado Plateau in North America, and so on. But it is the best example for pediment plateaus. Next, we'll discuss the continental plateaus. These plateaus rise abruptly from the lowlands or the sea. For example, the Deccan Plateau, then Chotanagpur Plateau, then Western Plateau, then East African Plateau, and so on. These are the main continental plateaus of the world. Clear, children? Okay, children. Tell some usefulness or advantages of plateaus. Yes, plateaus are rich in mineral deposits. Many of mining areas in the world are located in the plateau areas. Plateaus are also a huge source of gold and diamond, isn't it? Western Plateau of Australia and American plateaus are world famous for gold and diamond mining. The Deccan plateaus are formed by volcanic activities, and then they provide igneous rocks which are the main source of black soil. Black soil is useful for only cotton cultivation. They can be developed as a place of tourist destinations. Give some example for the children. As coastal areas of the Deccan Plateau are considered as the tourist destinations. Clear? Plateaus are rich in coal, manganese, iron, limestone, and so on. For example, huge reserves of these minerals are found in the Chotanagpur Plateau in India. Are you clear, children? These are the usefulness and advantages of plateaus. Then next we'll discuss plains. What does mean by plains, children? Plains are nothing but low-lying flat stretches of land. Clear? Generally, they are not more than 200 meters above the mean sea level. The plains are usually formed by the deposition of the silt and sediments brought by the rivers and their tributaries. Or you understand what I am telling, children? Plains are low-lying flat stretches of the land. Generally, they are not more than 200 meters above the mean sea level. The plains are usually formed by the deposition of the silt and sediments brought by the rivers and their tributaries. Clear? The plains can be extremely flat or slightly rolling. The plains can be extremely flat or slightly rolling. Most of the plains are very fertile and useful for the agriculture activities. Okay, then the northern plains of India, then Nile Valley Plain in Africa, then prairies plains in North America are formed by the rivers. Students, once again I will repeat the things. Just listen to me. Plains, what is mean by plain? Plains are the low-lying flat stretches of land. Clear? Generally, they are not more than 200 meters above the mean sea level. These plains are usually formed by the deposition of silt and sediments brought by the river and their tributaries. The plains can be either extremely flat or slightly rolling. Most of the plains are very fertile and useful for the agriculture activities. Clear, children? Okay, students, next we will discuss about the types of plains. There are three different types of plains. What are they, children? Do you know that? First one is alluvial plains. Then second one is delta plains. Third one is coastal plains. Clear? We have three types of plains. Okay. What is mean by alluvial plains? These plains are made up of the sediments carried by the rivers. Clear? These plains are made up of the sediments carried by the rivers. Ganga Brahmaputra plain, then Yangtze plain are some of the examples of alluvial plains. Clear, children? Next, we'll discuss about the delta plains. What is mean by delta plains? These plains are formed at the mouth of the river by its distributaries. Clear? These plains are formed at the mouth of the river by its distributaries. For example, Lombardy plains in Italy was formed by the river Po and its distributaries. Clear? Then we'll discuss about the coastal plains. What is mean by coastal plains? These plains have low elevations rising gently from the shore. These plains have low elevations rising gently from the shore. Most of these plains are caused by the uplift of the continental shelf. Eastern and western coastal plains of India are the best example of these plains. What is meant by coastal plain again? These plains have low elevation rising gently from the shore. Most of these plains are caused by the uplift of the continental shelf. Clear, students? Okay, tell some uses or advantages of plains. Plains provides fertile soils, therefore they are useful for agricultural activities, isn't it? Their climate is suitable for human settlements. Then the coastal plains have seaports, harbors, lakes. These areas have fertile deltas which are used for cultivation. Rivers flowing across the plains are useful for navigation and irrigation. Then the plains are flat, that makes the construction of a transport network easy. The plain areas have dense network of roads and railways. Then there are greater facilities for trade and manufacturing. So most of the world's great cities are situated on plains. Plains provide more flat land that is suitable for building houses and for cultivation. Clear, children? Or you understand? These are the some uses of plains. Okay, students. Next, we'll discuss about the landforms and the people. The life of the people living on different landforms is very different. In mountains, life is difficult, whereas plains provide ample opportunities for living and employment. This is why, because crops can be grown, then transport can be easily developed in plains when compared to the mountains. Similarly, plateaus and coastal plains sustain the livelihoods of people through activities like mining and agriculture respectively. There are various ways in which the landforms are used in a particular area. However, many times people also misuse or waste the available land. Give some example for the children. Yes, the use of fertile land for constructing the house or factories or dumping the waste on land pollutes the landform. It is our moral duty to use these kind of resources for our development judicially. We must preserve our landforms for the future generation as well. Okay, students, I'll give the quick revision. What is the name of the chapter? Yes, major landforms of the earth. What we discuss so far, children? First, we discuss about the two process. Are you remember? What are they? Internal process and external process, isn't it? These processes are responsible for what? Responsible for changes occurs in the landforms, isn't it? Some of these changes occur suddenly while some are gradual. Okay students, what does mean by internal process? Yes, within the earth, a continuous movement is taking place. What are the activities? Volcanic activities, earthquakes are the result of the internal process. Okay, what is mean by external process? Inside the earth, they originated inside the earth, but in the result, in the sudden formation of the major landscapes like mountains, plateaus, plains, rivers, continents, hills and so on. The external process work on the surface, earth surface, clear, and they modify these landscapes. What we discuss next, children? Gradation. What does mean by gradation? The whole process of the modification of the landforms by the external force is known as gradation. Clear? It consists of two main processes. What are they? Degradation and aggradation. What does mean by degradation, children? Degradation is nothing but the elevated landforms of the earth are lowered down by the various agents. What are the agents? Wind, rivers, glaciers, ocean current and so on. These are the some agents. In degradation, the elevated landforms of the earth are lowered down by the various agents. This process is also called as what? As erosion. While in aggradation, the depression of the earth's surface is filled up. It is also known as what? As deposition. Do you know the difference between the erosion and deposition? Clear? The landforms on the earth's surface can be broadly classified into three parts. What are they, children? Mountains, plains and plateaus. What does mean by mountains? Mountains are the natural elevation of the earth's surface. Clear? Mountains are the natural elevation of the earth's surface. In that we discussed about two. One is glaciers, another one is mountain range. What does mean by glaciers? Mountains are very cold climate. Such mountains, some of the mountains have very cold climate. These mountains have large rivers of ice that are called as glaciers. Clear, children? Then what is mean by mountain range? The mountains are found in the continuous chain. This chain is known as mountain range. Clear, children? Okay. Give some examples of mountain range. What are the, children? The Himalayas in Asia, then the Alps in Europe and the Andes in South America. These are the examples of mountain ranges. Okay, we discussed about the four different types of mountains. In your book, they gave 3 different types. What are the, children? Fold mountains, then block mountains, then volcanic mountains. What does mean by fold mountains? These mountains are formed when the earth crust bends due to the earth movements. That is called as fold mountains. Then in that we discuss about the two. What are they? One is anticline, another one is syncline. The upraised part of the fold is known as anticline. The downward flow fold is known as syncline. Then we discuss about the block mountains. In that block mountains, what is meant by block mountains? These mountains were formed when a land masses was pushed up between the parallel faults in the earth crust or by sinking of the land around them. In that we discussed about the horst and graben. What is meant by horst and graben? The uplift part of the landform is known as horst, while the lowered landforms are termed as graben. Then we discuss about the volcanic mountains. What is meant by volcanic mountains? These mountains are made up of the accumulation of volcanic material ejected from the earth's interior. What we discuss next, children? Plateaus. What is meant by plateaus? Plateaus are the highlands with a broad and more or less flat surface. Clear? Then what is meant by tableland? Due to the flat topped surface, these landforms are considered as a tableland. Clear? Then we discuss about the types of plateaus. What are the three different types of plateaus? Yes, intermontane plateaus, then Piedmont mountain plateaus, then continental plateaus. Then we discuss about the plains. What is meant by plains? Plains are the low-lying flat stretches of land. Generally, they are not more than 200 meters above the mean sea level. In that we discuss about three different types of plains, isn't it? What are the, children? Alluvial plains, delta plains, then coastal plains. Then we discuss the uses or advantages of plains. Then at last we discuss about the landforms and the people. Clear? I hope you all understand this chapter clearly. We'll see in next video class. Thank you, students.